Hey guys, it's Stephen Freeborn here from freeborntrainingsystems.com. And real quick, I just want to give you a fix for tight hamstrings. I know a lot of people complain about feeling like their hamstrings are tight, and no matter how much they stretch them, they still can't seem to make that tightness go away. And a lot of the times, the tightness is usually not because the muscle is short and needs to be stretched. It's because your neurological system is kind of upregulating the tension in that muscle to hold on for some kind of instability or lack of control. And in my own experience, the hamstrings are usually tight either because somebody has a weak midsection, that is their anterior abdominal muscles maybe aren't as strong as they need to be. Maybe they have had back pain in the past and they're kind of guarding against that back pain. Or the hamstrings are usually tight because we lack ability to control them in their end ranges of motion. So we can stretch all we want, but we have to actually teach our muscles how to function in those elongated positions while we're stretching them. And then we also have to look at reasons why the hamstrings might be tight and do things for other areas that might actually give the hamstrings a break and allow them to relax. So I'm going to show you a quick pairing of exercises that you can do. Since I'm not there to evaluate in person and decide whether it's a lack of stability somewhere or it's just a lack of control, we're just going to hit both of those issues at the same time, and more than likely your hamstrings will get better. So let's go through these. So the first one we're going to talk about is an RKC plank. So it's like a normal front plank that a lot of people have done, only we're going to add a little bit of a crunch to it while we're doing it to kind of upregulate those abdominal muscles a little bit more and get things engaged. So we're going to hold this RKC plank for about 20 seconds. And then we're going to go over to the bench behind me, and we're going to go through a quick FRC stretch, a functional range conditioning stretch using some pails and rails techniques. And you don't need to know what pails and rails stands for, but it basically just means we're going to stretch our hamstring, and then we're going to make our hamstring work in the elongated position, and then we're going to make the muscles on the opposite side of the hamstring work in the elongated position. And the idea here is the RKC plank is going to help us strengthen our midsection and hopefully upregulate our abdominal muscles, which may help our hamstrings relax more so they don't have to guard and kind of help us stay stable through our midsection, keep our pelvis stable and in line. And then the hamstring stretch we're going to do is going to help to instill control in our hamstring in larger ranges of motion. So I'll go through them and you guys can watch, and I'll talk through them a little bit as I do them. So for the RKC plank, we're going to get down on the ground. We're going to put our elbows just in front of our shoulders. We're going to have our toes into the ground. We're going to come up. We're going to squeeze our glutes. We're going to think about bringing our belt buckle to our chin. Rib cage is down. If you're shaking, that's okay, but we're going to hold it for about 20 seconds. After we do the RKC plank, we'll get up. We'll come to a bench. We'll put whatever leg we want to start stretching with first on the bench. Heel down, toes pulled towards your shin, slight bend in the knee. We're going to stand up nice and tall, and then we're going to think about trying to take our chest to the ceiling in front of us. So we're going to lean over. Once you begin to feel a stretch through your hamstring, you can stop, hold that for position. Now we want to hang out here passively for about a minute. I'm not really going to do that because for the sake of the video, but we would hold this position for about a minute to 2 minutes. Hopefully you would err on the side of 2 minutes, but if you're short for time, a minute will do. Now we're going to add in the active component to the stretch that's going to help us teach our hamstring how to control this elongated position we put it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about driving our heel into the bench, like I'm trying to drag the bench over and pull it towards me. So I should feel my hamstring turn on. I'm going to push into the bench as hard as I can for 20 seconds. Constant tension into the bench. 20 seconds. Don't relax. You got to keep pushing in, keep the contraction level. And then what you're going to do after about 20 seconds is you're going to try to pull yourself deeper into the stretch. But you want to pull yourself using your hip flexor, using your quad. So you're going to think about bringing your chest forward more, turn on your quad, squeeze your hip flexor, bring your abdomen closer to your thigh, get deeper into that stretch. And then you would hold it for 20 seconds. So you're pulling 20 seconds. Even if you're not going anywhere or you're not getting further into the stretch, that's fine. You're just still pulling yourself towards that thigh. It's an isometric. These are isometric contractions. There doesn't have to be a lot of movement. 20 seconds constantly, and then you can relax in this new, further stretched position. And you can hold it for another minute or two, and then repeat the 20-second isometric into the bench and 20-second isometric towards the bench. And you can repeat that for really as many cycles as you'd like to on that leg. Maybe 2 cycles will be good for this. And then switch legs and do 2 cycles again. And then you could go through both those drills 2 to 3 times. And hopefully over the course of a week or so, you'd see a difference in how your hamstrings feel on a daily basis. It's going to take time. It's going to take being consistent. It's going to take working at it. And over time, you may find that one of those drills is giving you more of the benefit, and therefore that's the drill you need to work on. So if you find the RKC gives you more benefit for how your hamstrings feel, then you're probably lacking some core stability. You need to work on that. If you find that the FRC hamstring stretch with the pails and rails gives you better benefit, then it's probably your hamstring just doesn't know how to function and fire in longer, elongated positions. So it kind of tightens up to kind of control and guard against injury. So try both those out. Let me know how they go. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Contact me via email at sfreeborn7@gmail.com.